YouTube. This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So this video is inspired by the brother Town Biz. He did a video the other day um, asking about whether or not would Michael Jordan be seen in the same light if he did not have not only those 6 NBA championships, but the 6-0 perfect finals record. Would he be seen in that same iconic light had he lost in an NBA Finals? And in my personal opinion, I think he would be a little bit lower to the pack. And I think that let's just say, for instance, that they lost in '98, which was probably the weakest Bulls team of the dynasty, '98. Although you can make an argument for '93 too, as far as the weakest bench. But Jordan and Pippen were still in their primes at the time. That might have canceled that out more than canceled out. But anyway, it's not important. Let's say in the '98 year they lost to the Utah Jazz. I mean, they did lose the first game of that series, and Michael Jordan was 5-1. Uh, would Bulls fans keep talking about, you know, 5-1? Well, Tim Duncan was 5-1 in the finals, but that defeat is a blemish. It's a blemish. Nonetheless, like I said, Tim Duncan won 5 NBA championships, and he only lost in one finals. That was 2013, and even in 2013, that went to a game 7. Um, Now the funny thing about it is, a lot of people talk about how Ray Allen saved LeBron James' legacy, right, hitting that three, but he also hurt Tim Duncan's legacy because had the Spurs won that championship in that game 6, guess what? If events go on as they did the next year, and the Spurs beat that Heat team by an average of 14 points a game, which at the time was the greatest margin in finals history, now the second greatest margin in finals history. Tim Duncan goes 6-0 in the finals. Remember, they won in '99, they won in 2003, they won in 2005, they swept the Cavaliers in 2007. Let's say in this alternate reality, they beat the Heat, the supposed super team, in 4-2, right? And then in 2014, they win 4-1. So that's a sweep on Tim Duncan's resume in the finals, something Michael Jordan never did. And he beat this super team Heat team. And Tim Duncan will have 6 championships, surpassing Kobe Bryant, and a perfect finals record. So that would elevate Tim Duncan, in some people's eyes, into that GOAT conversation. So the championship thing, I think, plays a lot into it. Now, my issue is, I think it's a very flimsy and thin argument to only argue rings, because I think it's more to the whole to. I think there's more to the picture than rings. I think rings are important. I think they're very important. I think finals losses should count against you to a great extent. But I think over time, championship rings have become way too important. Now, I know some people don't agree with me on this, and that's fine. But I don't see Chauncey Billups as a Hall of Fame. I just don't. Because maybe it's because I'm older and I saw his entire career. I remember Chauncey Billups when he first came to the NBA. He struggled. And I don't mean like Dirk Nowitzki struggled like his first season. I mean Chauncey Billups struggled to stay on teams for the first 6, maybe 6 seasons, 5 to 6 seasons. He didn't fit in. Same thing with Kyle Lowry. I kind of see some similarities between Kyle Lowry and Chauncey Billups. Now, I think Chauncey's a little bit better than Kyle, but there's some similarities. Now, if you're a younger person and you've seen Chauncey Billups, Kyle Lowry over the last 3 years or last 4 seasons, then you might possibly think he's a borderline case. But if you look at his whole career, I don't know. I just don't see it with Chauncey, man. Me personally, he did play great in that NBA Finals. He hit some big shots in his career, but I also see him miss a lot of shots too. So I don't know. To me, I think you can actually make a case, a serious case, that his Denver Nuggets teammate Carmelo Anthony is a better clutch performer than Chauncey Billups. If you actually look at the numbers, if you actually look at how many big shots he's made, Carmelo Anthony is a better clutch performer than Chauncey Billups. But I don't know. I don't want to make this about that. I don't want to make this about that. In summary, what I'm trying to say is this. I think the GOAT argument, if you're a Michael Jordan fan, should encompass more than those championships. And a lot of Jordan fans can't argue uh, his case without mentioning the rings, or they leave it exclusively to rings. And also, I have to say that a lot of people who don't like LeBron James, they sometimes like to hold the NBA Finals against LeBron. You know what I'm saying? They hold it exclusively against LeBron James for losing in the NBA Finals. But I'm gonna tell you something that's interesting. A lot of people don't know. Technically, technically now, Magic Johnson has a losing record in the finals. Well, you said, well, how is that possible? He won 5 out of 9 finals. Yes, he did. He won 5 out of 9 finals. But he also got swept twice in the finals. 1983, even though he didn't play in a lot of those games, 1989. Not to mention the fact that the one year the Bulls won in 5 games, 91, the Bulls won uh, in 91 a backdoor sweep. They lost the first game and then swept them out. So altogether, if you look at the games won and games lost in the finals, Magic lost more games in the finals than he won. Elgin Baylor had a losing record in the NBA Finals. He never won an NBA Finals. I think he went like 0-7. Jerry West went 1-8 in the NBA Finals. But people don't hold that against them as much as a lot of people like to try to hold the finals losses against LeBron James. Well, it should matter. It should matter. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but they like to hold it more than I think than it's warranted. You know, just like I used to get annoyed with some Kobe fans who always talked about 5 rings, 5 rings when it came to LeBron versus Kobe. And I just think the argument should be more about their body of work. It should be about what they've accomplished, how dominant a player they were. You look at to an extent, you look at advanced metrics, but that's the point with Nick Wright and them. They make it the be all end all. You look at their productivity. You look at a lot of different things. And then I think if it's a really close debate, then I think you start looking at championships and accomplishments and all those different things like that, all that good shit. But anyway, I just want to do a response to Town Biz. I do think that a lot of Michael Jordan fans do look at that finals record and make it the be all end all. But tell me what you guys think.